imagine about view ranges in particular, because
Right.
I'm still confused about how, like initially I was able to see the first level below and was
Yeah.
able to select the walls below, but then I changed to not view the first level, and I can see this, but I still want to know if the walls are extending all the way from the first level to the second.
I guess in that regard, can you go to your view ranges quickly?
Yeah. Ah,
That's all good. Sweet. So your problem is that you're still seeing the ground floor, right? Is what you're saying?
I
Like the
was
level below?
I was able to before, but
Yeah.
now I've changed it to level 2. But this is still not like some parts. I want to know if the walls are the same as the ones on level 1.
Oh,
You know,
okay, now I got you. The best way to do that would actually be to draw a section through that wall. So if you just hit OK over there, we'll come up to
yeah,
view range, and you see the section that you just have below over there. If you want to drag that into the wall that you want to check, so it's there, right?
yeah.
Yep, sweet. So just bring those there in.
It's just
That's all good. No worries.
yeah. I'm just gonna turn off some couple of things.
Sweet.
Yes.
Oh damn! Some people are having a party outside.
Is that coming through from you?
Yeah.
Nice. Main invites are.
Yeah. Neighborhood party. I'm not even invited.
Oh yeah.
Sweet. Yeah. So that is the best way to look at it, and then I guess from there you can kind of see that they do go all the way up, right?
Yeah.
It looks like that to me. So
So should I in this
in
scenario?
this view,
Should I just
I would. Sorry, just first of all, before you
yeah.
go, I'd make this here normals mode just so you can see it in a bit more clarity, and then I would also change the far clip offset in this view to like 100 mils, just so you're not getting all that noisy data.
Right. How do I do the far clip outside?
Okay, so that's the same as the view range.
I
You can
just
do it after. Yep, that's all good. It's on the left-hand side under properties.
properties.
So it'll just say far clip offset. I think you just need to go a little bit lower. Yep, there it is.
You know,
And just change that to 100 millimeters instead of 4155.
And just for reference, when you're looking at the section and plan, that's just how far out that dashed line is away from your actual cut. So you're seeing everything that's within that dashed line zone. So yeah, when it's out like 4,000 mils, they're actually seeing like 4 meters worth of potential
Data.
noise. Yeah, and
Yeah.
data. So actually just bringing it in really like focuses your immediate area like this. You see you have some very clear lines, which makes it a
Yeah.
bit easier to work with.
So
I mean, yeah, you can see that there goes all the way up now. And then this is also a good way to reference your wall thicknesses, because it looks like the other two walls are a little bit too thick, possibly. If you go to wireframe view, it'll probably give you a better understanding, just so you can see through.
Looks like there's some kind of window on top of
Window
them.
or something. So I think you're actually correct in this instance.
okay.
If I were you in this instance, I'd draw those up to the ceiling line, and then you could put the windows in as in place.
Yeah.
Curtain walls, yeah. And then that wall that's going all the way up, I just make it the same thickness. The thick one, sorry.
This one.
Yeah, I'd make it the same thickness as the bottom one, because that's not much of a difference in terms of thickness.
Right. Should I just delete this one and then
Yeah, either or, to be honest. I'd probably just bring the bottom one up to the top.
Yeah.
I'd say there's a few more things you want to check before you commit to that.
Go for it, Tom.
Does it make sense in plan whether that's going all the way up? I mean, it could just be two interior walls stacked on top of each other, in all fairness.
Also, is this on thick lines, by the way, or thin lines?
Looks thin.
I'm not too sure. Thin line.
Fair enough.
Do you just want to expand your crop area for a minute, please? And up as well. So what are we actually looking at? It looks like we're cutting long ways through your building section.
Shall I go to level? Sure. Yeah, over there.
Yeah. Can you whereabouts was that wall exactly? That big one that we're suspecting goes all the way up.
Sorry, my PC is just a little bit slow.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
all good.
that's all right. It's gonna happen.
Did you want to see that in plan view though, Tom, or 3D view?
Either or.
Plan view might be
Yep.
more informative.
Because I think the only walls that do go really the whole way up are the ones where
Oh,
you
sorry,
can
level 2 plan. Sorry.
Yep.
I think the only walls that do really go the whole way up are the ones that kind of break the roof line as well. Those are kind of the main ones.
You wouldn't say these are shear walls though, because this is a brick building.
Yeah, actually, you could be right. Yeah, I think everything just needs a like degree of interrogation, and like these are the kind of instances where I want that to be thought about, and there's some like justification or some rationale behind that decision. Um, but I think in this case, it is likely that it is a shear wall, and it does in fact go all the way up. I think a lot of you have had that case as well, whether it's facade walls or those interior walls. In a lot of cases, the facade walls do actually have they're thicker on the ground level, and then they get a bit thinner as they get up to the first floor and the second floor. Yeah, so it's not something that's consistent across the whole building. It is case by case. So that's just to reiterate that it is going to require a level of interrogation in each case.
So just to be safe, it'll be better if I go ahead with 2 different walls for each level.
I mean, no, I'd like you to have a look at it.
Yeah.
If you want to now, we can kind of scrutinize it a bit more and see if we can determine whether it is.
Yeah. And I just wanted to confirm that my view ranges were fine. Because
Your view ranges were fine. They looked fine.
okay, yeah,
Yeah, it's think about it the same way with like the fire clip offset with the lesson we just learned. You know, you're really trying to focus on the information.
yeah.
If do you have a question about how it works? Because it is a little bit more confusing in the sense
The
that
thing,
it's based off the levels. It's not based off the section like where you put that cut line. It's actually and that's the datum. It's based on, hey, my cut is 2000 mils above this level, and then I'm seeing to 1500 mils above this level, but then I also have this like layer on top of me. It's understandable why it gets a bit confusing.
it's just that some days I understand view ranges perfectly, and then there are just some days I question myself: Am I doing this right?
I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. It's the same as me, even though I'm working with it.
Oh, dude, like when you're trying to find when you're working in services space above a ceiling or something, just trying to get it right to like find a pipe that's like right next to a ceiling is so hard.
It's literally millimeters.
Yeah, you're like fine tuning this thing. And again, like I mean, looking in plan is pretty fallible because we were looking at those walls and they had like a clerestory window on top of them. So that's why you know you always need to work with sections, preferably two, even as you're drawing walls. Um, maybe it's easy to just do one if you're just down to the one screen. But you always kind of need to be double checking your work as you're doing it. You can't kind of guarantee that what you're seeing now it looks correct in this context, but as soon as you scrutinize it from a different angle, different height, it's a completely different story. But it looks so far. I think I had a look at your model earlier on in the week, and
Yep.
you had good placement of the walls. So they're sitting quite nicely, nice and snug between the points on either side. I think with the view range right now, good job in that you've like pulled it up off the floor a little bit. But I'd say, going off the lesson that we just learned with the far clip offset in the section, is that you could
Yes.
even get a narrower scope even now and kind of, because you can see how that you get some extra thickness. We're probably seeing a little bit of the skirting board or a little bit of extra detail in there that's probably making some of your walls a bit thicker than they actually are.
Yep. Yep. So I'll just probably do the same far clip offset type thing in the view range.
Yeah, so
So it
just
shows
open
so
up
much.
view range now.
Yeah. So right now it's 100 on the bottom. Should I go 200?
See what it looks like at 500.
Yeah.
And no, I would actually say if you take your cut plane up to 1800.
Yeah.
So sorry, that was top. Now you've got cut plane underneath
Yeah.
that. So cut plane is actually, treat that like the section line. That's
Yeah.
what you're looking down and through. That's where your walls are sliced at. Top is top's a little bit confusing in that it does give you a little bit of extra. It's generally, I think it's more to do with annotative categories. But when it comes to actual like model elements like walls and stuff, etc., you're really just doing cut plane.
Yeah.
So you can just generally, as a practice, keep top plane the same as your cut plane. It can't be lower than your cut plane. But like if it's like 100, 200 mils above it, that's kind of
Right.
optimum. So yeah, change that to 1800. Then at least we know we're cutting through most windows as well. See how those windows on the southern wall just appeared? And then pull that bottom plane up again. And yeah, maybe just take that up to 800 or 1000. And yeah. So we've narrowed that window a bit.
Yeah.
Or it's still probably about the same window as before, but we're seeing a bit more detail.
Yeah.
If you do drill down a bit, if something looks a little bit noisy, feel free to pull that bottom cut all the way up to like 1500. So you're working with like a 300 mil view depth or something, and you'll really take out a lot of noise with that.
Gonna give it a try.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
From getting our vaccination.
Hey, I don't get what the far clip offset thingy is.
So far clip offset is essentially your bottom plane, but just in section. So yeah, it's different because this is level based. So you know how if you go in section, you see how you have the dashed line. Yeah, do you mind just going into the section?
Yeah.
See how you have the levels built into there? So you have level 1 and level 2 is that dashed line. What we're doing with that view range is we're looking at a level 2 view, and then we're offsetting the cut plane, which is essentially the section line, horizontally 2000 mil above that level line. If you get that.
Wanna take over?
Yeah. Is there actually a control function?
Actually, I'm not too sure about Discord.
Let me see. I don't think I'm able to, but yeah. So you kind of have to imagine just for a second that imagine there is a section line, and that section line represents where you're putting your cut plane. And
But what's the cut plane?
the cut plane is so okay. Let's break it down. What the section line is doing? It's a black line and it has the arrows and it's orientated in a single direction, right? Just like how you draw with a section.
Yes.
You're cutting a building and
Yep.
you're looking into that interior. Same way with the sections in Revit. So what
Mhm.
you're controlling there is you have that line. That's like your knife that sliced the building. You know which direction you're looking at, and
Mhm.
that far clip offset decides how far you look into it. So if you want to play with that right now, DoH, see that
Yeah,
dashed line there?
that thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
See, so that's how far you can see into it. So you're only looking 100 mil into the building, which is why you're not going to see the back wall of the building right now.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. No. I get it. So it's like a wedge, and that's how deep or shallow your wedge is.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
if now
Yeah,
DoH
yeah.
goes and pulls that all the way to the other side of the building, we're gonna see that back wall. Yeah.
Yes.
But nothing
Okay.
that's beyond that dashed line. Yeah. So what he's
Yeah.
doing
No,
in the properties
I
box
get it
now,
now.
yeah, is just controlling it with the measurement. Yeah. So just imagine it
Okay.
now with the level. So if you set everything to 0 on a level 2 floor plan, that section line would be sitting on that dash level 2 line. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And so now, and because everything's set to 0, you actually have like
Oh
no
yeah.
range, so you wouldn't see anything except for everything that is
Yes.
literally not even on that line because it's still 0. So now
Yeah.
you offset that 2,000 mil above that line, so it's sitting 2 meters above that line now, and then you drop the cut plane, sorry, the bottom line, the same way you do the far clip offset, and you're controlling that band. Same way you could give it a negative value, and now you're actually looking at level 1, even though you're still hosted to level 2. Yeah, it's
Okay.
it should be something that's quite simple. It almost makes you wish you could do horizontal sections, because you have the cut plane and you have the bottom clip, but then you've got like this top one and then this like view range, which kind of add an extra dimension and make it a bit more confusing. But for these purposes, just think about the cut plane and the bottom clip. And then the only thing you have to remember is that your view depth can't be higher than your bottom clip, and your top cut can't be have a lesser value than your
Right.
other one. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I get it ish, and I think using it, it'll embed it.
Yeah,
Hopefully.
you just got to play with it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's like some best practices, like cutting at like 1800, really handy, because you're able to see those windows. But that's just based off an architectural convention that most windows are at least 800 mil above the floor.
Oh yeah.
That's it. There's no Revit specific thing there. If you wanted to see above the windows, you could pull that up and pull that bottom one up as well and see what happens.
And so you can change it in your view range, like what's happening now, or you can just pull the box handles. Is that right?
Yeah. So
Like if you're in section view.
unfortunately with view range, you do only have this tool here. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really
unfortunately,
cool.
unlike with sections, which I mean, that's almost why it's easier to have your plan as reference, but actually do your proper information checking with sections, because you can just modify them so easily. View range can just be really finicky. Sometimes it is good to just have like a general floor plan with a view range like this, where you can just, you're going to capture a lot, and then you actually do all your detail work in sections and verifying. Yeah, there's no real good workaround for view range, is you kind of just gotta find a happy medium, or like just keep refining it a lot.
I would have hoped that view range would have
Cool.
been simpler, like the scope box, like something like a scope box, but it just shows where we are able to cut the plane from.
Yeah, I mean, so in a 3D view, yeah, you have like a section box,
Yeah,
which you can just pull that top plane down.
yeah,
That, I mean, I guess if you're doing some modeling in 3D, that works. It is just a bit more intensive,
yeah.
since you're asking Revit to load or like work in 3D, and it can be a little bit of a sometimes in 3D you'll realize that you think you're snapping to something because it looks correct at that angle, but you'll actually be like snapping to an object that's way out.
Yeah.
It's just harder to verify a lot of stuff in 3D.
Yes.
2D is definitely your more information friendly format for modeling. And you can you'll find that you can do stuff a lot faster in 2D. It is the less intuitive way to do it, but once you've got it, it's easy. Yeah,
Thank you so
you
much.
kind of have to have a bit of a 3D mindset and a 3D plan while you're modeling in 2D. But it will force you to do that planning. Otherwise, you'll be like picking up stuff. Things like wall heights can be a bit easier to do in 3D once you've got it figured out. Like once you're attaching walls to floors, sure, maybe it's a bit easier to do that in 3D. Yeah, sorry,
Thank you.
long-winded rant. Yeah, anyone else? How do we get on with floors and ceilings?
I have a question.
Yeah, go for it.
So it was about the thing that I asked you earlier today about the floor levels.
Yes.
So basically, you know how you said do the whole join geometry thing?
Yep.
Not join geometry, but the joining the base to the wall.
Mm-hmm.
When I do that, obviously that brings the wall level down, but that means that the second floor's walls are hovering now.
Yeah.
Does it make sense to just set the floor level differently, or would that screw up the collaboration thing?
I mean, it won't break anything in the actual model. It's just more or less that. Like, I mean, so the level is currently consistent across the entire project.
Right.
So yeah, I do acknowledge that the level does drop throughout the building,
Mhm.
and yeah, I mean, if that's yeah, everything is kind of hosted to those levels. So I mean, I feel like it would be appropriate to do either option. Um, Either way is parametric enough, whether you drop that level or whether you add a minus 200 offset to those wall bases. Either option's viable.
Sweet.
I don't
The
think.
other thing was I thought maybe I could just, offset all the walls by -30 or something, and that would like fix it for that.
Yeah, I mean that's what you do. They'd be hosted to level 2 minus 30 or whatever your agreed
Yeah.
kind of level drop is. I think that would be. I feel like that would be my preferred option.
Okay, no, that's fine. I mean, they're both pretty much easy to do, so I'll do that then.
Yeah,
Sweet. Thanks so much.
no worries. Has anyone tried floors or been put off by them?
I have a question.
Yep.
I'll share my screen.
Yeah, sure. Go for it.
Sometimes I have problems reading the point cloud, and I have doubts if I'm doing it right or wrong. So I did level 1.
Yep.
Yeah, and I had some problems here in this part.
Okay. So down the bottom there.
Yeah, the over here and here.
Okay. So just on the bottom side there is where your part of the building connects to another building. So that information is in another region. If you are looking to see the backside of that wall, it's good. Like you've gotten to this point now where yes, okay, go and link that other part of the point cloud in, and it's also now the time to start talking to the person who's assigned to that region and say like, okay, who's responsible for this wall? Like so this is where a lot of you will be getting to at this point.
Okay.
Some of you have already started having these discussions, which is good. But I'd say for the most part, now that we're finishing walls and floors, or even with walls, should have really been the first point of contact if you're kind of modeling up to the edge of your zone. Yeah, time to reach out, decide between each other who's responsible for that wall. I don't want to see a duplicate element in the same place. That just tells me that you guys haven't coordinated, and that is part of the whole assignment is how you coordinate, how well you coordinate. Yeah.
Okay.
So if you wanted to, right now you could put in a placeholder wall, but I would just go ahead and link that other zone in. As for referencing that, there was an Excel document in the same place that you get the point clouds. So I'll just refresh your guys' memory and provide that link to that Google Drive zone.
Yeah.
And you might as well grab the point cloud region while you're there as well. Yeah, and have a chat with the person as well. Maybe strike up a private message on Discord. We're all here on the same platform.
Yeah.
And then this other spot here. What's
Yeah, this one.
Yeah, it looks like there's a bit going on. Do you just want to zoom in a bit, please?
Yeah.
It looks like stairs to me. Maybe give us a bit more view range to work with.
Okay, view range. I'll change my range.
So this is a good example where like, okay, look, we have like a really narrow band. Now let's open it up again, and
This bottom one?
just put it all the way down to 0 again.
Okay.
And then you'll have to change view depth to be 0 also. See the view depth? You just have to, because your view depth is currently higher than 0.
So I'll do this 0 as well, right?
Yep. 0 is the maximum you could have that value because
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So just hit OK. Yeah, so it looks like we've got some stairs going on there.
Chairs.
Um,
So is this here a wall?
it looks like a wall. Or it kind of, yeah, it looks like a spot that wraps around under some stairs. Yeah, it must be in a bit of a corner with another region of the building. Tell you what, if you go into 3D and kind of
Yeah.
focus on that area, this is a good example of going into 3D. It's
Over here.
Yep.
I think my modeling is not right. My walls are coming up.
Yeah, that's fine. It's fine for now. There's a neat trick we can do where you'll be able to attach that to the roof. So yeah, just let's see. Yeah, you can kind of start to see the interior faces inside that staircase. And then,
Is it this one or this one?
well, the stairs are to the right.
This one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So just have a bit of a fly around with that. Let's try to make the most of the context. I think a lot of the exterior wall data is possibly in the neighboring region.
Okay.
Yeah.
And in my section right here, I made my walls. I think I connected my walls up to level 3.
Yep. Yeah,
Uh,
that's perfectly fine. So this we just scratched on it briefly with Rohan. So what he's done is there is a function when you model a floor in this, you can attach your walls to the bottom of it and it joins the geometry. But what it does is it also lowers that wall to the underside of that floor and it joins it parametrically. So if you move the floor up and down, it sticks to the bottom of it. So you don't have any. Do you have any floors in your model yet?
not yet.
Okay. If you click on one of your walls,
Like in plan or in section?
just like this is fine.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
If you see on the tool tab up on the top right,
Up on the top right.
a little just you were up there just before. See where it's edit profile, yeah, and you have the attached top to base.
Yeah. Attached up to base.
Yeah. So if you have a floor, you can then use that to join your floor. I mean your wall to your floor. So it's going to be the same with roofs as well. So just don't worry about your wall heights on level 2 at the moment. It is they'll join nicely to the roof, and it's like a fair practice to have those interior ones a little bit above the ceiling line anyway. Just
I model my level 1 and level 2 walls like separately.
Yep.
So I was having problems like with the view range of level 2. So the thing is, where's the view range? Where did my view range go? So the thing is like my level 2 is above 3 meters, right? So am I editing my view range like above, like cut plane is above 3 meters, say 4 meters high, or is it same like 1500 or 1800?
Well, okay, so it's 1500. So actually, like this view isn't just a floor plan floating in space. This is specifically a floor plan that's been generated for level 2. So if you bring up your view range dialog,
I'm trying to find my view range dialog.
Don't worry, just look for the little box. So you've selected a wall. You just need to unselect the wall. So just click in the white space. Yeah, there you go.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, click on it, and you see how the cut plane is actually grayed out. Yeah, so that's because this is a level 2 view specifically, and you can't change that. So yeah, just treat it. And you'll find the same that with level 1. It's the same where it's based off level 1. So if you want to see, halfway through the windows on level 2, you're gonna put it at like 1500 to 1800.
Okay.
So it looks like you're actually looking at the ceiling right now, because you're cutting above the ceiling of level 2.
Okay, but why am I still able to see the walls if I'm cutting above my ceiling level?
Because your walls do go above your ceiling level.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay. And I changed this as well. So, does it supposed to remain same like associated level 2?
Yeah, for convenience sake, just keep that on level 2 as well. So what
So
you've actually
even if I'm modeling level 1 walls.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. So level 1, your top plane should be level 1 as well. So what you've actually done with that one is if your top plane's so instead of being 3,000 meters, 3,000 mils above level 2, it's actually 3,000 mils above level 3 plus the distance between 2 and 3. So it's probably more like 8,000 mils above level 2.
Okay. And the bottom one remains same, 100.
Yeah, just pull that off the ground a little bit.
Okay.
Again, that's like the far clip offset. Use that to narrow your yeah. See, yeah, that's kind of the result we want to work with.
Where's Park Thompson? What? Where do I find my far clip offset?
So far clip offsets are specifically for sections.
Yeah. So first I have to select the section.
Correct. Yeah, and it should be in the properties box now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
So
that's
if I do
really
it,
long. That's 26 meters away from the cut line.
yeah. So if I do it 100.
Yeah.
So I'll be
Now
able
it'll
to
be a
see.
really tight range. That's all the way back there now. Yeah.
Okay.
100's good. Really narrows that scope. Sometimes it is handy to see the back wall. Like, I mean, if you're working on the face of a wall, like later when we get to doors and windows, it is a bit more convenient to have a bit more depth to work with.
Okay.
But for what we're doing right now, see, this is great. It gives you a lot of information that you need. Just those basic lines, really. So that should be enough to, assuming that there's pretty minimal drop, or like on average there's like a net slope of 0 across ceilings and floors. I mean, they will be a bit wonky, but I think overall they'll be pretty flat. This is kind of enough to get going.
Okay. So this one, does it mean there's one wall over here as well?
Correct. That appears to be a wall, as far as I can tell. But now what you can do is, sorry, go back to that section.
Okay. Yeah. I think it was section 2. No.
I think it was the other one. Yeah. Oh no, section 5.
This one.
See how you can see your other section in your view now?
Yeah.
See the one on the left? If you grab that.
This one?
This one? Yep. Cool. And now actually using your section to position your other sections is really viable. So you want to verify if it's a wall, go put it right next to that wall.
Right here?
Yep. Pull that offset back in a little bit with the tab if you want. So you can just kind of eyeball it. Yep. And
like this?
Correct. And now right click on that section.
And go to view.
Go to view. Yeah. So we can kind of see, oh look, there's that wall. It's gonna be that red one because
is it this wall?
No, it'll be the red one because remember we put that far clip offset right up against that wall so we could see the surface. Also, that
Okay, so it highlights the wall.
Yeah, But like, what have we
Okay.
gained from this? We can see that it has what appears to be a clerestory window above it, and there's a door in it as well, and you can kind of see that there's a beam in the top right corner.
Beam in the okay. Here's the beam, and here's another wall.
Correct. That looks like a wall with a door in it, or some kind of opening.
What is this then? If this is highlighted until here, what is this?
So what would be happening there most likely is that you're cutting through a. If you look at it in plan, you'll find that you're cutting through a door, and what we're seeing is the top part of the door. We're cutting through solid wall, but then we cut through that bottom bit, and then we're actually looking at the exposed side of the inside side of the door jamb. And in
Okay.
fact, what actually appeared to be a door in that other wall is just the open door against that back wall.
Okay.
So if we look now, if we refer back to a plan of this room of level 1,
This one?
yeah, like
Yeah,
that
we are talking about this one.
that makes a bit more sense. You can see the door swing, and that door is in fact resting against that wall.
Is it this door swing?
We're looking at it from the left side, I believe.
We're looking at this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it actually, I mean, I can't really take control, but what it looks like to me is that thick wall that's just above your mouse,
This one.
yeah, actually probably stretches across the whole thing, and then there's like an opening in that space that you've just dragged across with
Okay.
a thin wall and
So I
those
just
two doors.
connected until here.
I'm not sure. You'd have to interrogate it a bit more. But I would drag your section parallel with that wall, looking downwards in
Okay,
plan
parallel.
orientation.
Okay.
Yeah, so that section there. Yep. Pull it to the other side of that wall.
Okay, pull it
That's
to
it.
the other side.
Yep.
Like this?
Well, so what you do is right click on it,
Right click on it.
flip
and
section.
flip the section.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then pull that out again. Yeah, nice.
And then sorry.
yeah. So good.
Sorry. And then
it
I go to
happens
you.
all the time. Yeah.
So are we talking about this one?
Yeah, so you can see there's the two doors down there, and for some reason it gets. No, it looks like it does get thinner after that section.
Because like if we see it in this section, yeah. So this wall is thinner and this is thick.
Yeah.
How do they even match? Like
Well, now what you could do is get a section that's perpendicular to it and kind of try figure out where that thick wall cuts off.
and here?
Yeah, you could do it in there.
Okay. Okay. And should I narrow the view?
Yeah, pull it
Or
in.
is it fine?
Pull it in. So you can't.
In
Yeah,
here?
like here.
Okay, in between. And then go to sphere.
Okay, so we can actually see that it looks like we're dealing with the thinner wall. Now maybe go back to plan.
How do you figure out is it the thinner wall or the thick wall?
So yeah, now what we'll do, go to plan again.
Yeah.
And now drag that section to the left. So that far clip offset.
Okay.
Yeah, click it first. Now yeah, you can do that. So yeah, now it envelops that wall. Now go back to it, and if we can kind of see that ledge from the wall end, that kind of see, okay, that does confirm how it changes.
Oh gosh, I'm still not able to understand this. Thick
Well,
and thin wall.
click on that wall for a second.
This one?
Yeah. So yeah, just so it makes it transparent. See how you can see the surface of the wall where it thickens? Or better yet, make it hidden lines.
Sorry, what?
Change. So like down in the bottom left, next to the scale. See how there's
Okay.
that little cube?
This one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go there and change it to wireframe.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wireframe.
Yeah. See how we can see the points projected on that surface? So we can tell where that wall has jutted out.
This you're talking about these two differences, like this one and this one.
Yeah, so again, we're kind of looking at an inside door jam. But then, so inside that wall thickness area, we're seeing it's almost cut in half, right? So on the left side, we have a door frame, and we're seeing
Yeah, this
the
one.
inside side of that door frame. But then to the right, we're seeing past the door frame and against that wall where it gets thicker.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
in fact, you actually had it modeled correctly in the first place, but this is kind of like a really good level of interrogation to confirm what you're seeing there.
So the question is, how do I model this now?
Got a plan?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. And then you're just going to model a thin wall coming out of that. Looks like you have a
Okay,
wall
so
to that
I need
side. Yeah, you could
I
drag that.
need to
You could
pull
drag
this
that
up.
across. I think what I'd want to see is I want to see it hooked to that bottom corner of the thick wall. So drag it all the way across to the thick wall. It's going to be a
Like
bit
align
hard.
with this.
Yeah, it's going to be a bit hard to get. So just cancel this
Okay, cancel this.
or Control Z
Yeah.
that. Click that wall again.
Yeah.
And change the location line to the other side. So under
Okay.
properties, yeah, location line. It's on exterior now. Change it to interior.
Yeah.
Drag that end to the corner of that line. Just put your cursor on the corner. See how it's slightly off? Just
So I'll just align this, right?
no. So what?
Okay.
Sorry. click the drag end. Well, zoom in
Okay.
firstly. Sorry. Yep.
Yeah.
Hold that, and now drag it over the corner and hit tab. Yep. See that's your corner join there.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
And that should still be looking pretty good. Yeah.
And like if this part is not modeled correctly, like over here,
It looks
do
like
I
it
do
could
anything with
benefit
it?
from being nudged up slightly, so just hit up on the arrow key.
Up on the arrow key.
Yeah,
Sorry.
sorry, just hit the upwards arrow key on your keyboard.
Okay.
Yep. So
More?
no, that looks good.
Okay. And I need to like correct this part, right?
Yeah, I mean you could do the same there, nudging.
Okay.
Yeah, depends to the degree. If you're happy with the angle or yeah. Yeah.
So now I just need to make the doors in here.
Yes,
One
correct.
here
You
and one
would
here.
make the doors in there.
And so this wall is just this much thick and it is going up till here, right? So this is just the wall door hung.
Yeah. So the door is
Okay.
obscuring that part of the wall.
Yeah.
But you can easily assume that it's a consistent thickness. So just use the bit that you can see as your reference.
Yeah. So I'm assuming this is also a wall. This part.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
just a bit of wall between
Yeah.
both doors.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
Anytime you see a door, just draw a wall across the door frame.
Okay.
Don't draw it as a gap because the way doors work in Revit is that you essentially have a door-shaped hole that you poke into a wall. Whereas if you're like splitting the wall for the door opening, you're not gonna have that like top cover, or like doors actually have to be hosted inside of walls.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we're not on doors yet. So just keep modeling walls across those doors. I think floors are probably the next step for everyone anyway, and we'll stick with that. We won't have any new. I won't have a new assignment until everyone's kind of got their doors. I mean, sorry, their walls and their walls, floors, and ceilings figured out. That being said, has anyone gotten to the point where they've pretty much captured all their ceilings and floors?
I'll try today.
Yeah,
Almost there.
no, don't worry. That's if you are, I'd get the feeling that you're ahead, which is cool. No worries. We can chat about the next step before we
Yeah.
go into teaching it for like everyone. I think we'd want to see everyone with some more floors and ceilings. The next thing will be roofs, which are functionally the same.
And
sorry.
this part here is also connecting to the next part of the building.
Sorry. Remind me, which part of the building is yours?
I think it is on 9. I'm not too sure. I'll check.
Yeah, it looks like you've got one of the ends. It might be. I don't know. I don't actually know from memory which part it is. Is it? Oh, I think I do. Is it the end of the old, like that's where the rainbow path exit is?
I don't know about that much, but I'll try to find.
Yeah.
Which one is it? Did you email us, right?
Yeah, it
The
should
path.
be in plan somewhere. I might have put a PDF in. I think I put the PDF in announcements.
Okay, I'll find it and then I'll ask you again.
I have got it open. Do you know what zone number yours is?
10.
10? Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. I got you. 10, really? Yeah, it looks like you've got a whole. Well, I realize I'm not sharing my screen. Are you still sharing?
Yeah, I'll just stop sharing.
Yeah, it looks like there's a whole part of the building that kind of sticks out. I know. I think I know what's happening. Is on that part of the building there was a ground level extension that was there were some like photography offices down there. So that part of the building only exists on level 1. I mean, sorry, ground floor. There's only stuff going on up there. So when you're looking at it in level 2, there's nothing there because there's a roof after the ground floor and then it just caps off. So yeah, you will be seeing something in level 1, but nothing in level 2. And again, that's because all of that point cloud information is below your bottom cut.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit easier if I can, for example, go into. I'll open the point cloud and recap, and maybe just go over some stuff.
Sorry, open there?
No, I'm about to take over. Just let me sit up.
Hey, Tom.
Yeah, what's up?
I I started doing some floors and things, but like I sent through, it looks like none of my walls line up with the ones below because they're all on weird angles, and generally when I was drawing them I'd get that error message saying this is slightly off axis, and that may cause problems.
Yep.
And then it looks like it is causing problems, or does it matter that they don't match up?
Yeah, so I mean, what's important at the end of the day is that the that the model functions, yes, at the 2D level, which is to say if we were going to look at some 2D plans, is that they look good, but there is kind of a compromise in that respect on whether you want it to look good in 3D also. 3D is, the case for 3D is matching that exterior face of the building so that it's one consistent plane. Once those angles change a bit, is it does start to look a bit janky on the outside. And generally, if you've modeled the ground level walls correctly, I mean that next level up is gonna be on the same angle. Don't get me wrong, like I mean, bowing works in all three dimensions, but generally, if you can try to keep them on the same angle, you're probably gonna have a
Oh,
better model overall.
okay. Well, so can I show you, or do you want to? Shall I do it during the week?
No, feel free to pop it open now if you want.
Mhm,
You can
mhm,
take over the screen share.
mhm. Mm. So, oh yeah, so this bit here, I just did that. So yeah, this.
So it just hasn't quite loaded for me yet. Are people able to see screen yet?
No, I can't see.
Okay, it's just taking a minute to load. Sorry.
Everyone must be on the internet. Anything.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem to be. Or have you determined which like screen and everything? Too, you could still be stuck on a menu.
Mhm.
While this is working, I'll see if I can, in the meantime, I'll just download your model on the computer end. Sorry, on my work computer. See if I can take a look at it. Discord is what I
There we
need.
go.
Is it up?
I
Nice.
think so.
Yep, I'm seeing that.
Yeah. So so see.
Yeah, I can see they
So
slightly
yeah,
look off.
so see this.
Yeah,
So like, what is that line? That's underneath one, isn't it?
yeah, that does look like the wall underneath.
So yeah, do I need to correct that? Oh, that is the outside, so that surely, and then this must be, it is. So in section, like,
Yeah,
look at that, and that. They're all different. And that
yeah,
one's huge.
yeah. So zoom in a bit,
So
please.
yeah.
Yeah. So I think the case that I tried to make on that one before is it's less about the actual thickness. Like, yes, the thicknesses do change, and in your case, you're not going to be able to draw your bottom wall all the way to the top. But what is actually consistent on there is that the exterior face is the same. So if you
Yeah.
use that exterior face as your datum for how you place that wall, and you're controlling the thickness from that exterior datum, um, all your walls are going to be like nicely stacked on top of each other, even though they are um, different thicknesses. But then you're also going to have like a nice clean exterior face as well, which at the end of the day does make structural sense as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So then that looks okay.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, so far so good.
Okay.
Yeah, it looks like you've got the thicknesses correct.
Well, yeah, I did working on them, and then there was one.
I guess the best way to get this effect where they're stacked on each other properly is to actually have your view range set so you are looking below the current level of your view range. So if you pop open the view range just for a second, I think you must be doing it right now because
Well, yeah, because I've got two here. This is the underneath wall, and then that's level one, and then that one there is the basement.
yeah. So just open up your
This is
view range.
where's my view range?
It's in
Yeah.
this no. So on the left there, you have the properties box. Yep, just in here. If you scroll down inside here, you'll see one that says view range. Not quite that one. Yeah, there it is. And you have to hit that edit button.
Yeah, here it is. Is it showing?
Did it
I've got the pop up.
it did. Okay. Oh yeah, that'll
Yeah.
just because you're sharing the Revit window, not your entire screen. So
Oh, okay.
we're just seeing
Okay.
Revit.
So it says, oh, okay.
So yeah, tell us what
So it
values you
says,
have.
my top is 2300, my cut plane is 1200, and my bottom is 0, and my view depth level is 0.
Okay, so we do actually see those bottom walls when you are set to 0 because they do go all the way up to that level. So your yeah, what's happened here is like, so your bottom clip is sitting directly on the level. The walls from below come up to that. If you were looking to do this, you would probably set it to a negative value, your bottom clip. Set that to like minus 200, so you know that you're seeing those walls, and then you can see that edge and actually drag your ends onto the corners of those bottom walls as well to help to essentially act as a guide for where you should draw your walls above if you want to capture that exterior face as your datum.
Okay. So yeah, so I should pay attention to that as the exterior face. But yeah, so
it should be correct for like it should capture your wall angles because the wall angles should in theory stay the same up the levels.
Yeah. So,
Again,
but I
eccentric
think
building,
it's
so there is room for discretion in there. Have you got like a visibility override on your walls, like the dashed lines? Is there a particular reason they're like that?
which dash lines?
The walls appear to be made of dashed lines. Is that just me?
Yeah, that's the windows. Do you mean this and this and this
Is that
For me, it's wireframe, but it's
and
not
this?
dashed, Tom.
really?
Wait,
Yeah.
Melissa, could you zoom in a little?
Yeah, no, I'm not crazy, right? Those are
Oh wait,
dashed
no,
lines.
you're right. Those
Yeah,
are dotted
yeah.
lines.
So I
Isn't
think,
it? How's the dash lines?
yeah,
no.
you can see how the black lines are dashed for your walls.
No,
Yeah, they are.
no.
Yeah, they
Are
definitely
they?
are.
Oh,
Yeah, see how when you hover over the line, yeah, it fills in that space.
Yeah, the Discord quality isn't too great,
Yeah. Do you
but it
just
is dashed. Yeah.
do you just want to go into the properties box again? Same place as the
mhm.
view range, and if you scroll up a bit, there should be one that says visibility and graphics, and yep, click edit on that one. And if you scroll down to walls,
Yeah,
there might see how there's so bear in mind that we can't see it right now,
yeah.
but to the
I
right
just
of
have
walls there'll
to.
be like a series of like 5 cells, and like each of those are visibility
Yes.
overrides. Is there one for lines
Yeah.
that has an override in it?
N-
That's dash
Uh,
lines.
no, none of them have anything in it. Anything in them. We played around with them last week. I was watching in the tutorial, but then I don't know how that got saved and no other changes.
Yeah. That's bizarre. I will have a look at the
I
model
think
that you've put up on Discord and try to figure out what it is.
okay.
Yeah, because that's
Um,
that's probably not helping you out with the dash lines about it, specifically for what um, we're talking about here with finding those exterior corners. Because if there's no line on the corner, could be a little bit tricky.
well, but what's weird is they don't look dashed to me. They look
Yeah.
It could honestly
fine. They
just be
look,
a Discord quality thing for us.
yeah.
Like they're actually adjusting as you go in and out though. Like they're a
But
consistent.
that could also just be the anti-aliasing changing also.
Oh, no, I can see that they're dashed on Discord. So it's quite
Count me wrong.
long dash, right?
Yeah, it's a
It's a
really
long dash.
long dash.
Yeah, no,
Did
that
you
it's
guys
not.
accidentally right click on the? Can you just right click on the wall? Oh, we can't see her stuff, right? There should be a. Ooh, I forgot what it's called, Tom. The one where you can change the visibility, the sort of graphics off the actual wall itself, and see if you want
Override
visibility
Modify
correct.
graphics
by
in view.
elements.
Yeah, it could be in there.
Override graphic in view by element.
Yeah, it
Yes.
could be in there. The dash could be in there possibly.
But I'm not. It's only on Discord.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
It's
let's just brush
yeah,
it off as like a weird Discord thing.
yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't got
It's
dash
like
lines on your
when I look back to the miniature in Discord, I can see what you guys see, but when I just go on back to Revit, I can't see it. So that's all fine.
yeah, it's
So
kind of distressing for a minute. It's like how have you been working with this? This is nuts.
yeah, no, I don't know. Okay, but so this wall here, when I was trying to align it to this little guy, it's really off square, but
Yeah.
it actually looks fine. But because I don't know if you remember, but last week these were all weird.
Yeah,
and
like they weren't joined up properly or geometry
yeah,
wise. They look a bit better
and
now.
because well, that yeah, they do look okay, and I guess that's the one underneath. Okay. Oh yeah. See, look at this corner here. So there's this one, and then there's the one in the basement. So do I need to worry about that? So I started doing floors, and then I saw this, and then I just watched you say, don't get your walls right before you do your floors and ceilings. And then I said on the tutorial, and shall I send it through for you to check? Anyway, so obviously I didn't do that. But like this here, do I need to make sure that those are on top of each other? Because they're the outside wall.
Yeah, model quality's sake is that they should sit on top of each other for that exterior face. But it does look like your bottom wall is sitting out quite a bit from where we know the wall actually is. So either that means that bottom wall should actually be looked at first, potentially, and
Okay.
yeah, and if it looks like that bottom wall is actually fine, well then we have to probably interrogate it with a section as well.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So yeah, okay. So
Yeah,
Yep.
maybe
All
get a
right.
section in there. Maybe that bottom wall needs to be pulled in, and
Oh
then the whole
yeah,
thing will
see,
kind of
look at that.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So and then this is where that. Okay. Maybe see then. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So well, that makes sense. So if I start at the bottom and then align them, and then I just need to make sure that these outside lines are flush
Yeah.
between the floors, and then I don't need to worry too much about the thicknesses because that's just how it is.
Yeah, and then you're
Yeah.
controlling them like kind of from the interior side. Is just pushing them more or less into the interior space because if you click on one of those walls, just without the align tool, sorry. See how the drag ends are on the outside face. That's good. That's where we want the location line to be. I think in this case.
Why is it doing that? Why isn't it just highlighting the wall?
Sorry.
Why isn't it just highlighting the wall?
Because you'll be looking at it in wireframe. So
Oh, okay.
yeah, you're selecting essentially a transparent object
Yep.
with just lines on the vertices.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. If you did change it to shaded, it would be it would be visible. The whole thing would go blue.
I see.
Yeah. So it is possible to
Great.
model in shaded as well. It can be a bit. It depends. It's a bit of preference. It's also a bit of context, obviously. But if you are modeling in shaded, just be aware that you can just select an item and that'll make it transparent temporarily as long as you've got it selected, which works.
Yeah, well, it's just good understanding because quite often when I'm working in Revit, I don't know why it does stuff that it didn't do the other day, and now I know why it does that.
Yeah.
Hey, and then see this here. So then obviously this is a stairwell, and then this one in level 1 should align onto this guy, right?
Yeah, I'd say that's probably an element that I would just drag up from level 1, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'd pull up a section to that, and I would just
Yeah.
just drag it all the way up. Yeah. So delete that level 2 one, and then you've just simplified it a bit for yourself. So if you right click on that, you've got it. Yeah.
So where is it?
Yeah, you'll be cutting through it. It is that wall in the middle.
This one.
I think it's like in the middle. So if you go down over that, I'm pretty sure you can see it just down. So the middle of the cut right now is level 2. Yeah, that's it there.
Oh, yeah. I see.
Yeah. I think the thing that's making it a bit confusing is that the far clip offset is quite far. So what we can actually see is we can see the exterior surface of that wall, but from inside it, if that makes sense. So we're not seeing
Right.
it as the negative space that it is. But in order to ratify that, you would just modify the view. Sorry, the far clip offset. And yeah, I would also look at it from the perpendicular angle to this, because I'm not sure, but having been in this building, I think on the 3rd floor, it might angle downwards with the handrail. So while you're creating this section, just do me the favor and pull in the far clip offset now. Is that dashed line? So if you zoom out a bit, see how there's that arrow now at the top? Yep, just pull that right in.
Quite good.
Maybe not that far. Yeah, just enough. And now let's have a look at that section. You might have to you haven't actually opened the section yet. So if you just go back to that floor plan, right click and hit go to view. Okay, so it's my apologies. It doesn't cut off and have a different profile at the top. So you can see it's that big white rectangle there.
Okay.
Yeah, so
All
you've
right.
actually
Thanks. So
got
I can.
the 2nd floor has it above it as well. It has a separate wall element there. Can you see it?
This.
Yeah. So yeah, if you wanted to,
Right.
you could also delete that one.
Delete this one.
Yep.
And then take this one all the way through.
Actually, Melissa, what I want you to do for this wall is instead of just dragging it up, now that you've selected the wall, go across to the properties box. Yep. And see how you've got the base constraint, which is good. It's on the basement. That's where you want it. But now go to the top constraint and change that to level 3. Yep. And now change the top offset to 0. Yep. So this is like the parametric way of getting your wall heights.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now you just have like a bit more of a degree of control in there. Good in design. If level 3 was about to change, or if level 3 was changing across the project, that wall would move with it, which would be handy. But now we can also plug in like an offset if we want to, but it's based on level 3's height.
And then now looking at it, it doesn't look like it's really in the right place because it feels like it should be down here.
Okay, you can square that up a bit with the point cloud. Yep, great. And
then
probably still a little bit thick.
here too.
Yeah, maybe just knock off like 20 mil or something.
Yeah,
by the looks of it.
14. There we go.
Yep, that's looking pretty good. As for that rounded end, yeah, don't worry about that. That would be,
Okay.
I believe there's a tool for rounding wall ends like that, isn't there, Sion?
Not that I know of.
Would I do it? Could I do it as a mess?
I would avoid that for now because it just makes it a separate element. But
Oh, yeah.
there is a way just off the top of my head to do it.
I don't.
Which,
What in profile view? I've known profile view in plan view.
yeah. No, what you do is you do a like vertical wall sweep. No, sorry, a wall reveal that's vertical and it kind of just like shaves off the corners.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'd have just done it as a casework wall. A component mass wall.
Yeah, that's also completely viable. I know. I'd say, Melissa, just get yourself happy with the placement. That's a higher
Yeah.
level. What we could do, but let's discuss it at a later date. Is the proper thing to do right now would be to actually take that wall end out to the apex of that curve, and then treat it as if it's a square wall. So we're actually capturing the length of it. Yeah. Yeah, just like that. And then that leaves us in a position to address this with some wall sweeps.
Okay.
At a later time.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we did talk briefly about wall sweeps.
Yeah,
Last
you guys.
time.
Yeah.
I think it'll be important for a few people, but not everyone. So, yeah. Anyway.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. No. You pretty happy with that?
Yeah. So yeah, I'm going to make the outside walls flush, and then I can put my floors in and ceilings. And yeah, I feel okay about those. Like just watching the tutorial again today.
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, I mean, just obviously
Great.
see what you get with it. Fire off any questions like what you're doing this afternoon on the Discord. I try to be as available as possible, so I think I got back to you in pretty decent time today, though.
Yes. No, that was good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Happy as to do that. It's probably it's even a bit easier working from home. Don't be shy to arrange like a call as well that extends to everyone. I can obviously like spare 5 minutes, especially working from home. It's no biggie. Yeah. Anyone else got anything, or are people starting to feel a bit peckish? Silent people don't come across as hungry. So like, let's go. I've got like an hour lecture I can do. If anyone's
I'm
interested
just
in
sitting here. Do you wanna? Yeah, let's go.
that.
That's quite sad, Rohan.
I mean, you know me.
Fair enough. Trying to win.
I'm not gonna lie here and say I have things to do.
Don't you have prof to do, bro?
You think I'm not doing it at the same time?
How can you?
It's just pain.
The trick is enjoying your own self abuse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's all in the name of catharsis, you know.
Okay, guys, let's sign off there. Let's get some models coming through with some floors and ceilings for me to review. Also happy to check on your walls and everything. Yeah, just use the Discord, guys. I'll post a link. And just kind of refresh some of the resources for you guys as well, like area assignments. But yeah, happy days.
Happy days.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome. And thanks, Jan. That's so helpful. Where did you put it? How come it's disappeared?
Oh,
Okay, go.
it's on the Sion School of Architecture chat.
Right. Thank you.
Don't tell people about that.
All right, I'm leaving.
Keep
Bye,
that hush.
everyone. Have a
Thank you,
Okay,
Tom.
thanks, Tom.
Thank you.